Top story, Prime Minister of India Narendra Modi will be shortly arriving in Nepal for a two-day state visit at the invitation of the Nepalese Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli. PM Modi left for Nepal's Janakpur today from Delhi airport. Today he will be visiting a key pilgrimage spot, Janakpur, regarded as the birthplace of Hindu goddess Sita. Now, both PM Modi and PM Oli will jointly flag off the Ayodhya-Janakpur bus service on the Janki temple premises. Now, before PM's arrival in Nepal, the country's media seems to be fascinated by PM Modi's visit. Almost all the Nepal newspapers today carried maximum coverage on PM Modi Nepal's visit. This is part of Modi's efforts to strengthen India-Nepal cultural ties. Later in the day, PM Modi will depart for Kathmandu, where he will hold talks with his Nepalese counterpart. Before leaving for Nepal, Prime Minister Narendra Modi described his two-day visit to Nepal as a reflection of his government's commitment to neighborhood first policy. He said his visit reflects the high priority which he personally attaches to India's age-old close and friendly ties with Nepal. This is PM Modi's third visit to Nepal. And joining me live for more is our correspondent Siddhant Sibal. He has been in Nepal for the past couple of days and he's there to give us minute-by-minute updates of PM Modi's visit to Nepal. Siddhant, today is a third visit of PM Modi to Nepal. Tell us about what's on agenda today. And remember that trade diplomacy is very high on PM Modi's agenda. So could you just explain to us what does that really mean?
Well, as you mentioned, trade diplomacy is the focus of this two-day visit, third visit of the Indian Prime Minister to Nepal. He first visited on a bilateral visit, then for the SAARC summit, and this visit coming just 1 month after the new Prime Minister of Nepal visited New Delhi. And today, of course, he will be reaching Janakpur. He has left New Delhi. He will be reaching around 10:15, and at 10:30 he will be going to the Janki Devi Mandir. That, of course, is a famous temple there, and together with the Nepalese Prime Minister will be flagging off a bus service connecting Janakpur to Ayodhya, the birthplace of Lord Ram, and Janakpur will be part of the Ramayana circuit. Interestingly, both the countries, India and Nepal, are working on a Buddhist circuit also, but that won't be announced in this visit. Currently, only the Ramayana circuit will be announced, and of course, after that, he will be going to a ground where he will be addressing a public gathering. About a lot of people are expected to come, hundreds of people are expected to come. After that, he leaves for Kathmandu, where he arrives here, where I am standing in Hyatt Hotel, where he will be also coming. At 6 o'clock, he will be addressing a joint press statement with the Nepal's Prime Minister. That will be the key focus, because in the press statements, we are expected to know what is discussed during the bilateral. But other than faith, infrastructure and connectivity will be on focus. In Kathmandu itself, he will be going to Pashupatinath temple. This is the second visit of the Prime Minister of India to Pashupatinath temple, where we were, and of course people are really keen to meet the Indian Prime Minister. And finally, he goes to Muktinath for the visit to the Shiv temple. So clearly, faith diplomacy is the focus. He will be visiting 3 cities, and in all the 3 cities, he will be visiting a temple, a famous temple. That is why it's being called faith diplomacy during his two-day visit. Infrastructure will be the key focus also, because here in Kathmandu, during the press statement, he will be jointly inaugurating the Arun 3 project. Why does this project matters? Because this is the largest infrastructure project, largest hydroelectric project here in Nepal. Other than that, connectivity is the focus. On connectivity front, 2 things are going to happen. First is India will be announcing building of a railway line connecting the Kathmandu Valley to Raxaul, which is on the border of India-Nepal. This will link Kathmandu Valley to rest of the Indian railway network. So clearly you can now go from Mumbai or maybe from Delhi to Kathmandu on a railway. Other than that, inland waterway will be the focus. through the Kosi River, Nepal and India will be connected through various waterways, especially on Kosi River. For this, a team is also expected to arrive from India to Nepal. On agriculture front, which is the other thing which is going to happen, both the countries are going to announce first ever meeting of the agriculture ministers of both the countries. Lot is on the table. 3 C's, as the Indian Prime Minister has already said: cooperation, culture and connectivity will be the focus.
Right,
the visit, of course, is an important visit because this engages Nepal with India and with India with Nepal. But there has been anxiety regarding the increasing Chinese presence. We were in Kathmandu,
in fact,
a lot of Chinese boards. That will also be a focus.
Right. Siddharth, like you have been in Kathmandu for a past couple of days, and like you were mentioning about the Chinese presence in Nepal, in Kathmandu, you said that you saw a lot of Mandarin signboards in Nepal. Tell us a little bit more about that, the Chinese and the friendship between the Chinese and the Nepalese.
Well, we met the foreign minister. We had this exclusive conversation in which the foreign minister of Nepal said that Nepal wants an independent foreign policy, and that is one of the reasons why Nepal is going closer to China also. China, in its part, is also trying to engage with Nepal, especially on connectivity front. There is talk about growing Chinese influence here in Kathmandu, but if you go around the city of Kathmandu, especially in the business area, there are a lot of Chinese businesses. The place where we went, Thamel, there are almost 200 Chinese businesses, hotels, and most of the shops have 2 signboards. Either it's English and either it's Chinese. And in some of the places, you only have Chinese signboards. That, of course, shows growing Chinese presence. A lot of Chinese tourists here. We saw Indian tourists, but as compared to Chinese tourists, they were very less. That is something that, of course, will perturb New Delhi. And New Delhi has been on back channel, through back channel diplomacy, has been asking about that, has been raising that issue, because New Delhi and Nepal might be having close ties because of the geographical proximity, but increased Chinese presence here in Kathmandu and Nepal has perturbed New Delhi. That is something that worries New Delhi. China even has proposed a connectivity plan connecting China, Nepal and India. India, of course, has rejected it, saying it would rather pursue its own connectivity plans with Nepal. And there is another angle to it. New Delhi is always obviously suspicious about why China is so keen to get connected to Nepal, though Himalayas don't form a geographical barrier today, because you can easily connect through various through internet, through optical fiber network. But there is another reason to it. India is a big market. China wants it. Obviously, this connectivity plan can flood the Indian market with cheap Chinese goods. That is something that worries New Delhi. So China, of course, is the big elephant in India-Nepal relationship, and that, of course, will be something that will be obviously overshadowing this important visit by the Indian Prime Minister, the 3rd visit of the Indian Prime Minister to Nepal.